Maria, good morning and welcome to this news on 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Monday, August 4th, 2025. Let me come to present the stories following this morning. The family of a 25-year-old woman identified as Blessing Willie, who was pronounced dead upon arrival of the Redemption or at the Redemption Hospital in Newtown, accuses local health provider of medical negligence, leading to her death. Local authorities in Grambassa County are investigating the mysterious death of 40-year-old man identified as Mohammed Toure, who suddenly fell off minutes after he and his loved one had sexual intercourse. Also, County District Acting Representative Edward Flomo expressed strong opposition to cement concurrent contribution warns the management of the corporation to increase its social corporate responsibility for residents of affected communities. Away from Liberia, a former Prime Minister of Mali, which is now on a military rule, has been charged with undermining the credibility of the state over comments on social media. These plus the news bulletin, our international developments, and all package. We'll take a very short break. I'll be right back. Thanks for rejoining us, and let's have the news bulletin. The family of the late Blessing Willie, a 25-year-old woman who was pronounced dead upon arrival at the Redemption Hospital in Newtown, is accusing the local healthcare provider of negligence leading to her death. According to the sister, the late Blessing Willie was admitted to the Mayomba and Sons Clinic, located in Ghana's Town Hill community before her death. She died following morning. That's the following morning, August 2nd, after spending less than 24 hours on a painless care. In an interview with reporters Jacqueline Franchi, the sister of the deceased alleged that the clinic administered improper anesthetic treatment. She claimed that her sister was given 3 bags of intravenous fluids and multiple injections containing a mixture of a specified medication. Eyewitnesses and family members allege that this is not the first time Mayumba and Sons Clinic has been accused of mishandling patients. The facility is reported ongoing scrutiny for its treatment practices, particularly involving pregnant women. Local health authorities have not released an official statement. The matter remains under investigation. Liberal Water and Sewer Corporation Director General Mo Ali has come to the defense of LTA Commissioner General Patrick Honda spraying morning during the birthday celebration of the Commission Minister General Mekia. Several other government officials have defended the LTA Commissioner, describing the act as a way of being generous to other Liberians. The viral Facebook shows, as video shows, the LTA Commissioner spraying money with traditional dances, something that has public criticism and condemnation as several Liberians term it as insensitive and mockery to suffering citizens. Many citizens have said the display of wealth by Commissioner Patrick Honda during Minister Pia's birthday celebrations in a country where many struggle to erode public trust and create divisions and tension within communities. But in sharp response, the Liberal Water and Sewer Director General Mo Ali described the critics of Commissioner Honda as less basic people. According to him, Commissioner Honda committed no crime by flaunting money on traditional dancers who graced the birth celebration of Information Minister Gerald Mipia. He further explained that Honda's action was aimed at appreciating the traditional musicians for displaying rooted cultural Liberian songs. The LWSC boss at the same time warned those criticizing the LTA commissioner the disease, noting that flimsy and lousy criticism and propaganda will not stop he and other government officials from being generous to other Liberians. The Liberian National Police One County Detachment has arrested a student of Cottington University, Peter Woolley, for allegedly masterminding a fraudulent vacation job scheme that targeted over 130 college students in Banga. Woolley, who claimed to be working with ArcelorMittal Liberia, reportedly convinced dozens of students, mainly from Cottington University and Bon County Technical College, to pay different amounts of money, ranging from 10 to 30 United States dollars, in exchange for supposed vacation jobs in Yekiba, Nimba County. According to the victims, Peter Woolley created a group chat to promote the alleged job opportunity. He claimed that successful applicants will travel to Yekipa for 2 months with employment with Aslam Mita, Liberia. The victim said Woolley insisted he had the right connections to facilitate the job placements. However, as the departure date neared, inconsistencies begin to emerge, with the student noting that they repeatedly asked Woolley to introduce them to his supported supervisor at Aslam Mita on the field following the arrest on morning of August 2nd, 2025, police is expected to be formally charged before the to Banga Magisterial Court on Monday, August 4th, 2025. Amidst mounting challenges faced by Nigerians, President Joseph Walker has reaffirmed his government commitment to human rights, peace, transitional justice, and inclusive education throughout the country. The Liberian leader who spoke to a proxy said, "Truth telling and civic learning will help shape the minds of young Liberians in addressing and fulfilling the events that characterize the dark days in Liberia's history." Remarking on behalf of President Walker, the executive director of the Office of the Establishment of the World and Economic Transport, Jalan Babu said his office has received the assurance that the process will soon come to fruition. President Walker's statement was contained in a speech delivered on his behalf at the 35th anniversary of the massacre at the St. Lucian Church in Monrovia during the weekend. Montreal County District Attorney Representative Edward Broom has accused the Sineco Corporation of contributing little to affect the community despite millions of United States dollars it generates. Representative Kobo, who expresses strong opposition to Sineco's current contribution, warned the management of the corporation to increase its social corporate responsibility for the residents in the community it is operating. According to him, Sineco is generating over 250 million United States dollars annually, but is only giving 3,000 USD to the affected communities for scholarship programs. He urged that the 250 million United States dollars is about one-fourth of the national budget and as such needs to increase its social corporate responsibility to the community it is operating, adding that most of the residents are affected by the loss of the cement on a daily basis. The Montreal County District 15 representatives issued the morning at the ceremony marking the dedication of the conference for Ambassador Town, Jamaica Road, on the Bush Road, Allen, to the At the same time, the district representative has claimed to address worsening economic conditions on the country's high unemployment rate, which it claims has been caused by, as by mismanagement within the Ministry of Labor. Former accused Labor Minister Coco Clark of prioritizing the employment of foreigners over qualified Nigerians. According to him, the alleged hike by the minister is contributing to poverty and the deteriorating living conditions for many Liberians. Former further criticized Minister Clark for what he described as a lack of sensitivity to the country's development crisis under the Union Party led government. Local authorities in Gambasa County are investigating a tragic death of a 40-year-old man identified as Bobby Troy. According to reports, the 40-year-old man fell off minutes after he and his wife were access to and was pronounced dead by health authorities in Maria Oman, the loved one only identified as Linda to reporters reported that after having flown the deceased previous out to attend the barrel upon his return, she heard a loud sound at the door. According to her mom, it previously complained of fear shortly after their intimacy and was shocked to find him lying unconscious on the floor. The National Rubber Brokers and Farmers Union of Liberia Bon County Coordinator Amos Too has criticized President Joseph Walker's Executive Order number 151, adding that it directly affects the rubber industry. Speaking in an interview Saturday, Amos Too argued that rubber remains one of the most accessible and widely distributed natural resources on included diamonds, which are often limited to specific regions. It emphasized that smallholder rubber farmers are among the key contributors to Nigeria's tax-based and economic activity. It expressed dissatisfaction with the president's decision to issue an executive order over what he called targeting of the rubber sector rather than prioritizing cash crops such as cocoa. It must also note that honor risks undermining the livelihoods of thousands of low-income rural farmers and traders across the country. It was stated that income we generate from rubber is already low, added this new policy is only making it harder for us to survive in the business. He urged the government to revisit the executive order and consult with grassroots stakeholders before implementing measures that directly impact the agricultural sector, particularly those who depend on rubber production for their survival. The Ministry of Health has installed what is believed to be advanced laboratory equipment at a sophisticated hospital in Ravenscourt City. The installation was done through the Ministry of Health and the Park County Health Authorities. The equipment installed includes semi-automated chemistry analyzers, CBC machines, and other essential equipment. A statement issued by Health Ministry Sunday described the initiative as one of its ongoing national effort to enhance diagnostic services and strengthen the overall healthcare system. The release added that brand new biochemistry laboratory equipment and water distilling was also installed at the St. James Comprehensive Health Center in the county. According to the ministry, the newly installed equipment will improve the quality and accuracy of laboratory services and improve patients' performance. However, the Ministry of Health has reaffirmed its continual commitment to advance diagnostic capabilities and fostering healthcare delivery excellence. As drug addiction advocates several Liberian boost the campaign against drug abuse and increase in different parts of the Liberian political wars and life continue to rise up against illegal and dangerous substances with call for national protest against drug safety. After campaign did drugs also, a motorcyclist Regino Gasly has expressed support for saying no to drugs campaign. Gasly says intends to join the campaign because he has witnessed the devastating impact drug abuse has, adding that his first life has been affected due to drug addiction. The local motorcyclist resulted out of sight in 2012 with just in 2012 at 50 years old that resulted into his son's death while living on the streets. In an effort to address Mongolian growing sanitation crisis, Moronic Empire, led by its executive director, Baba Tutu, has partnered with the Moria City Corporation over the weekend for a large-scale cleanup campaign across Central Monrovia and surrounding communities. The initiative was part of the city's Northwestern Saturday cleanup exercise, spearheaded by Monrovia City Mayor John Shafat and supported by the Moni Empire volunteers from the the Morning Empire, MCC staff, and dozens of local youth mobilized for the effort to sweep streets, clinic, block villages, and engaging residents in discussion about sanitation and civil responsibility. Speaking to reporters, Mayor Shafak emphasized that achieving a clean and green Monrovia requires active participation from every community. Mayor Shafak noted that changing starts with the household level regardless of one's position, call on both government officials and everyday citizens to treat the city's cleanliness as a shared responsibility. For his part, Money Empire Executive Officer Baba Smith highlighted the importance of collective action by citizens. He added that Monrovia city population continues to grow, maintaining a clean city must become everyone's business. And the Office of Monster Rider County District 70 representative has announced a number of new beneficiaries for scholarship program in the district. Representative Anna Blue Benson said the DJ Blue Foundation is committed to providing or to the provision of good education to the youth in the district. The District 17 lawmaker gave the assurance when he formally launched the fund drive for the scholarship for girls at the dedication of the Cecilia Young Creator Institute in Walmart community in the township of Virginia. Also remarkable the program, the proprietor of the Cecilia Young Creator Institute, Councillor New disclosed that the institution was established that purposely to assist underprivileged girls in the community to obtain quality education. What if you just joining us? A reminder you're listening to King's News, bro, the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we following this morning. The family of a 25-year-old woman identified as Blessing Willie, who was pronounced dead upon arrival at the Redemption Hospital in Newtown, accuses local healthcare provider of medical negligence leading to her death. Local authorities in Grand Bassa County are investigating the mysterious death of a 40-year-old man identified as Mohamed Touare, who suddenly fell off minutes after he and his loved one had sexual intercourse. Mozzarella County Protecting Representative Edward Flomo expresses strong opposition to civil court management current contribution, wants the management of the corporation to increase its social corporate responsibility for residents of affected communities. Away from Liberia, the former Prime Minister of Mali, which is now on a military rule, has been charged with undermining the credibility of the state over comments on social media. We'll take another short break. We'll come back and bring you the voices of the people. How yeah. The family of the late Nancy Willis, 25-year-old woman, who was pronounced dead for the Barbara at the Redemption Hospital in Newtown, is accusing local health provider of medical negligence, leading to her death. According to the sister, the late Blessing Willis was Mayumba and Sons Clinic, Italy, Ghana's Township community before her death. She said following the morning of a second after spending less than 24 hours under the clinic's care. In an interview with reporters, Jacqueline Frenchie, the sister of the deceased, alleged that the clinic administered improper and excessive treatment.
Okay. When she take back, she money was good. When I put her smile like you said, dreams. I was serving the customer. She see my lesson to me. So, go to my sister, go down, say, I don't feel all right. Sister, now when I say about no, where's my team? They will not be one. They will wish for the clinic. Now the hospital they go, waiting happy. I will tell me, I say, that will wish blessing to the clinic. Because let's get see that it, but in the neck. So we don't wait for tomorrow morning. So now we try to get to the clinic. Now I tell them, but I go to my clinic. When we go to my clinic, when anything my people will follow clinic. Now I went. But the bottle trying to be blessed for my brother. Now I myself a lava, no lava on me. Now I'm very the group of lava, well lava. They were all blessing of all the getting one motorbike. Now when my kid the person nobody was there. Now here, on here, instead of one side, the person driving us. The person will not get out there. They start driving us. That's about how you will drive on our patient here. Our patient sick. I want to see the girl. They say, when I see the girl, on the post here. Now I left on the post. When all patient came us up on the hospital. We asked her, we said, well, how the girl coming home? She said, the girl trying. I said, but I can see the girl. They said, no. Well, what we all there? So the half when they left, they keep us, they take a lot of next class. I said, don't look be close for the girl. Now, I tell my brother, say, well, let's go to the house for close to pick up a blessing. That one went to the home, my lesson was crying. So I tell my brother, say, forget the close. When I anything, they will pour on. Now, we get no for nothing. The morning now, Papa call my brother say, but why your air was to the one say, but you bring up a blessing. Now I'm gonna get a pass back into the Tuja. Now I'm waiting the kega. I saw my sister. I will not set up I start crying. I said, I'm not happy with my sister. I saw later in the kega. Now when we just clean it, we just put answer what happened. I emergency we say yes, emergency. I said I went to the other gate. We went to the other gate. The person what happened to the girl. I said he was sick. I was about to to the hospital. We say yes. The person want the paper. We say no paper. The police want paper. I said, but what happened to her? I said, but she was complete us. Now when making in the when we saw the girl, he's just like any pencil. But when the hospital, you're going to get a paper. What kind of paper you are asking for? Which paper you asking for? The hospital paper. The hospital paper that they met her here, right? Yes. It went wrong. What did they give her to cause her? To cause her? They gave her drip. My sister, somebody didn't get sick. She hardly get sick. You think the mixture in the drip was more? How you call it? What does cleaning mean?
The sister of the late Blessing Willie, dead, explaining her ordeal to reporters. Local authorities in Grand Bassa County are investigating the tragic death of a 40-year-old man identified as Mohamed Toure. According to reports, the 40-year-old man fell off minutes after he and his loved one had sexual intercourse and was pronounced dead by health authorities in Wizon. Many residents in the area have described as unclear circumstances of the 40-year-old man's death.
One time I went Sunday market. This guy met me 17. He came across me. So he asked me for my name, and I showed him my name. He said, I like you. You got a friend? I said, no. He said, I like you. Can you show me your place? I said, yeah. My area right near Mosiko, after the rain center.
Let's take your time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, he came on the company. I was sitting right to my area there. When he came to Mosiko, he was coming on the freeway. He saw me sitting in a bush. Asked me, you know, are you living? I said, yes. So he came. I gave him seat. He sat down. So he asked me, he said, oh, for his people number and where he came from. He refused. And I told him, I said, when you can't show me where you came from, you can't give me any contact, I will put my hand in your bed. I checked there for contact. And he told me that when you check in my bed, anything happen to you, you're responsible for it. So I was scared.
What do you think you're telling you that you should not check it again? You observing, involving in medicine or other things?
I don't really know. I only ring I saw on his finger, ring on his last finger. But for somebody to, for me to say that catching something or no.
So all these things you're telling you, were you not afraid to tell him to, since you don't want to show me your parents' area or you want to check in your bed, then it better you go on your own? Why you go to
I
tell
was
him that?
afraid. Yes, it's true, I was afraid. But like human being, to my side, I was doing it like when he was coming to get better, for him to find his people. What I was doing it for. And I was doing it again because I like him.
Okay.
Because he was my boyfriend. So that's why I was doing it for.
So did they call his full name to you?
Yes, he said.
She's the girlfriend of the late Mohamed Toure, who mysteriously died, explaining the information to officers of the Liberian National Police. Amidst mounting challenges faced by Liberians, President Joseph Boakai has reaffirmed his government commitment to human rights, peace, transitional justice, and inclusive education throughout the country. The Liberian leader who spoke through a process said truth-telling and civic learning will help shape the minds of young Liberians in addressing and curtailing the events that characterized the dark days in Liberia's history. Remarking on behalf of the president, the executive director of the Office of the Establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court, Jalababu, said his office had received the assurance that the process will come to fruition. President Boakai's statement was contained in a speech delivered on his behalf at the 35th anniversary of the massacre at the St. Lucian Church in Monrovia during the weekend.
My conversation with the Minister of Justice, he reassured that the President is keen on ensuring that this process comes to fruition. As we are reconciling, I'd like to stress here that reconciliation is not achievable on the basis of let bygone be bygone. Doesn't work that way. Justice and accountability are critical. So the Office for the Establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court, let me say to you, there is nothing magical about how Nigeria is transforming. This is purely heavenly intervention. As you do see, many things are happening in this country positively. Therefore, I do know that by God's grace, help is on the way, and it will come soon. So to the survivors of the Lucian massacre, and to others who also are victims and survivors of other massacres, I want to let you know that we are together, victims, and at the same time, working to restore this country. The process for establishing the courts, not just to try people who killed, who raped, who abused and violated people. It is a process that is holistic. All aspects of reconciliation and justice will be met in this process.
director of the War and Economic Crimes, Jala Babida speaking. What if you just joined us with the time half past the hour of a month? You're listening to King's Newsburn, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we follow in this morning. The family of a 35-year-old woman identified as Blessing Willie, who was pronounced dead upon arrival at the Redemption Hospital in Ekru Town, accuses local health provider of medical negligence leading to her death. Local authorities in Grand Bassa County are investigating the mysterious death of a 40-year-old man identified as Mohamed Toure, who suddenly fell off minutes after he and his loved one had sexual intercourse. Montserrat County District Acting Representative Edward Floman expresses strong opposition to cement port management. Current contribution warns the management of the corporation to increase its social corporate responsibility for residents of affected communities. Away from Liberia, a former Prime Minister of Mali, which is now under military rule, has been charged with undermining the credibility of the state over comments on social media. Take another break. When we come back, we continue with more voices. Montserrat County District Texan Representative Elder Flomo has accused the Liberia Cement Corporation of contributing little to affected community despite millions of United States dollars it generates. Representative Flomo, who expressed strong opposition to Cimeco's current contribution, warned the management of the corporation to increase its social corporate responsibility for the residents in the communities that are affected. According to him, Cimeco is generating 250 million United States dollars annually, but it is only giving 3,000 USD to the affected communities for scholarship programs.
Cimeco cannot be in this environment. Same nothing system. People are still suffering. There is no school. There is no university. Nigeria, we don't believe in capitalism. We don't get one person that come from Paris and come here and think that I'm going to Paris and he can decide what's there. They will never budget from the government. We will do the best appropriate thing to bring Cimeco to our board that we should get because that's too many each of the community in the country. We will bring Cimeco to our board that will there far from water in this community. Of course, the poor against our own leader. I can you get community leader 3,000 for scholarship from more than 5,000 people. Cimeco made photo of our project, 250 million annual plus Cimeco made. Then they get us 3,000 alone. It's an insult. But today, Cimeco get on a social corporate responsibility and flat around in different countries, very clear, but leaving the district and the community which are operating, our people are suffering. So then when you eat cement dust, when you want to pray, eat cement dust. Anything you do, eat cement dust. Some people getting break cancer for them on cement dust. That's just Cimeco will come in that shortly. And we'll be telling for Cimeco. People say what you want, tell them about Cimeco. When you come to the carry on to government by people. So the only way is to fight for the demand again. So while they are fighting for
At the same time, the District 13 representative has blamed Liberia's worsening economic conditions on the country's high unemployment rate, which he claims is being caused by the mismanagement within the Ministry of Labor. Flomo accused Labor Minister Corporal Crow of prioritizing the employment of foreigners over qualified Liberians. According to him, he alleged, or the alleged act by Minister Crow is contributing to poverty and the deteriorating living conditions for many Liberians.
the job that is going to get job. Today, the job has been sold to foreigners. The labor minister has sold all the jobs that belong to non-Nigerians. That's why we continue to suffer. When we vote for a wrong person, you get a wrong result. Do you know today what was getting here? I remember years back when I came here, he's not playing a contest to it.
years. If you are just where we're here, 2019, so we want to feel nothing our corporate in this place. We want you water for the junction all the way this way. But today, we are proud because we people get a better leader, the leadership of this community, that the money that we spend that money that we taking to use for our own personal use, but I said, I need to wait for my people. Because the same thing that you need when you wait for your people, if not in return a vote, for anything you do very well with a flat hat, you're not going to be whatever God. That's why today, anything I'm doing next year, I'm going to return, because I say, God going to pay me. You know it well in classes and in house. I don't know why for 6 months, I was on suspension. For years, one no pay, 1 more year. Up to now, government still owe me 10 more, no gasoline. 10 more gasoline. Nothing like counted development for I receive for this district. The superintendent, I take all the social fund that belongs to the district and decide what to do with it. Not because I have nothing to do with it. But when it comes to report, just a report will call the superintendent again, just a report. If I need it when I receive it.
He that's Monserrado County District Texting Representative Edward Flomo there speaking. The Ministry of Health has installed what it believed to be advanced laboratory equipment at the St. Timothy Hospital in Raba's Port City. The installation was done through the Ministry of Health, Grand Cape County Health Authorities. Equipment installed include semi-automated chemistry analyzer CBC machines and other sexual equipment. The statement issued by the Health Ministry Sunday described the initiative as part of its ongoing national effort to enhance diagnostic services and strengthen the overall healthcare system.
Administration remains deeply committed to human rights, peace building, transitional justice, and inclusive education. We believe that through truth-telling and civic learning, we can shape a generation that not only remembers but also acts to defend democracy, respects differences, and embraces the values of compassion and nonviolence. This administration is committed to healing and reconciliation, not just in words, but in action. We are taking meaningful steps to build a nation where the mistakes of yesterday are not repeated, where every Liberian, regardless of tribe, faith, or status, is treated with dignity, protected under the law, and included in the national journey forward. In this spirit, the ongoing burial.
Minister of Health, yes, speaking. The Office of Monserrado County District 17 Representative has announced a number of new beneficiaries for scholarship program in the district. Representative Bernard Blue Benson said the DJ Blue Foundation is committed to the provision of good education to the youth in the district. The District 17 lawmaker gave the assurance when he formally launched the form draft for scholarships for girls at the dedication of the Cecilia Young-Lido Institute in Bogon community in the township of Virginia during the weekend.
Is to empower the minds. Once you educate the community, great things happen. Anybody that is offering an institution to nurture the minds of our young people, we must in every way support it to the T, especially here in District 17. I think this Bogon community, you are very, 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 very lucky to have such an institution in your community. What I can promise that we will continue to support this institution. Initially today, I will launch a scholarship drive. We will launch a scholarship drive. We're giving 10 scholarships to girls, children. 10 scholarships. Our office will fund 10 full scholarships on the Broom Foundation, but I want for the girls, children to benefit from that first set, and maybe as time goes by, We have more than 180 students on our scholarship system right here in this district. I'm glad that Bokong.
His Representative Bernard Blue Benson there speaking. In an effort to address Monrovia's growing sanitation crisis, Money Empire, led by its as Chief Executive Officer Baba Two Sweet, has partnered with the Monrovia City Corporation over the weekend for a large-scale cleanup campaign across central Monrovia and surrounding communities. The initiative was part of the city's monthly First Saturday cleanup exercise, spearheaded by Monrovia City Mayor John Shafar and supported by the Money Empire. Speaking to reporters, Mayor Shafar emphasized that achieving a clean and green Monrovia requires active participation from every community.
We are here to put our money where our mouth is. When you pour your mouth on the city government, you say the MCC not working, they not do nothing, and you just say by, how is it going to change the situation? But when you come, you mobilize people, then you are putting your money where your mouth is, then you got a right to speak. Today, we are here not just to clean, we are here to make a statement. We are here to make a statement as a community that to achieve a community goal can only be done by the community members. And it doesn't matter your status. Today, you have Two Sweat here. You have pressed up the change here. But you got a number of other people here. All the MCC people, the city manager, are there. To clean the city is one thing, but to keep the city clean, it's a different thing.
For his part, Money Empire Chief Executive Officer Baba Two Sweet highlighted the importance of collective action by citizens. He added that Monrovia's city population continues to grow. Maintaining a clean city must become everyone's business.
That's what I understood about the mayor's just current speech. Mayor is saying that his workers are outside on the road every day, they're cleaning, and the next morning you can find the deaths going right back. So this has to be a collective responsibility for everybody to come together so that we can do this thing as Liberian, because this city is our city. He's our mayor. We need to give him the necessary support. Next Saturday.
He is executive director of the Money Empire, Baba Two Sweet. They're speaking. And away from Liberia, a former prime minister of Mali, which is now under military rule, has been charged with undermining the credibility of the state over comments on social media. After a recent visit to see detained opposition figures in July, Masura Mara declared on X his unwavering solidarity with prisoners of conscience. Mara, who served as prime minister for 9 months a decade ago, has been a recent outspoken critic of the military government. The junta, in power since coups in 2020 and 2021, dissolved all political parties in May following riot anti-government protests. On Thursday, Mara was detained and questioned for a second time by the National Cyber Crime Unit about his 4th July exposed. On that note, I would like to go home this morning on this edition of King's News, Broom, the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. But just before we go home this morning, let's remind you of stories we've been following. The family of a 25-year-old woman identified as Blessing Willie, who was pronounced dead upon arrival at the Redemption Hospital in Town, accuses local health provider of medical negligence, leading to her death. Local authorities in Grand Bassa County had investigated the mysterious death of a 40-year-old man identified as Mohamed Toure, who suddenly fell off minutes after his loved one had sexual intercourse. Maserati County District Acting Representative Edward Flomo expresses strong opposition to Cement Court management current contribution wants the management of the corporation to increase its social corporate responsibility for residents of affected communities. Away from Liberia, a former prime minister of Mali, which is now on a military rule, has been charged with undermining the credibility of the state over comments on social media. On that note, that's how we come to the end of this edition of the program, King's News Broom. I would like to say many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondent news editors who helped in making this package Our sources better still join us this afternoon at 1 o'clock, at which time we'll be here with another splendid edition of the program. My name is Neil Toga. I presented this edition of the program. Thanks for listening and watch it. Bye bye.